السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد. باب في النصيحة. قال الله تعالى: إنما المؤمنون إخوة فأصلحوا بين أخويكم. وقال تعالى إخبارا عن نوح وأنصح لكم وعن هود وأنا لكم ناصح أمين. So this is chapter from Riadul Saliheen is about the nasiha, yani to show well-wishing or to be well-wisher. So nasiha is actually Arabic word which is coming from its roots. Nasaha means, suppose if you are going to pick honeycomb, right? So honeycomb is a mixture of both honey and some kind of wax and even some leftovers from the honey. So honey itself is a very, for example, useful and healthy and very nourishing thing, but it is a mix now. So when you make honey clear and away from all kind of, things, it is a nasiha. So I mean, for example, you are choosing nectar, but you are also filtering it, clearing it, right? So the word nasiha means that, for example, when you are giving something, just imagine, suppose if I am giving someone, portion is good, portion is bad, portion is so and so, and giving everything. So it will not be nasiha. So nasiha will be that the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala must be taken in its pure way, right? And not adding, suppose my opinion I add in it, some other thing I've added in it. So ad-deen al-nasiha means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's deen should be taken as a pure and should be transferred to others in a pure. And then also another thing that the deen's nasiha should be with two values. One thing that we start from deen, its highest level, most important thing. Then we go down, 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 and so on. Second thing is that suppose if you have a storage and you are selling everything, and someone asks you something, and you know that this person is good for this thing. So you say, no, I advise you to take this one, this is not good for you, and so on. So taking in mind that what is good for a person to give from the deen. And is one time, Ali radiallahu anhu said, كَلِّمُ النَّاسَ عَلَىٰ قَدْرِ عُقُولِهِمْ. Talk about the people according to the level of understanding. So sometimes it happens that we are talking and maybe the issue is not, and you can say, received in its true meaning. So in that sense, the nasiha is actually a very important word, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala quoted that the Anbiya, when they established their relation with their people, and people, they were not believing them, they were not any mu'min, but they started to talk to them, so to establish two words which give them trust. Inni lakum nasihun amin. I am well-wisher. I am not selling something which benefit me. Suppose any person who is selling something, it is actually his own business. It is journey to for example, tempt people or to ask people to take something and say, it is for you, but it is for me, right? Just like in our time, many kind of business, they offer save money, right? So they are tempting me to save my money, but actually they are saying spend money, right? This is the way. So the deen, Nabi, every Nabi, when he comes to say, I am not giving you anything which is not good for you, and giving what is good for you. So nasihun amin. And nasih is also it means that I am not, for example, have any other plan. It is sometimes a person established just like a politician. They say, we want to serve you, we want to give you. When they got power, right, they become different people. So he's saying that even I am here to say you something, and I am your well-wisher, but this well-wishing will continue. It will be forever, right? Second promise or second way to offer, Ameen. Whatever I am given by Allah, I am giving you exactly. I am not aiding in it. I am not changing it. So this was the two things they were asking. And then they were asking two things. When people accept them, so they say, okay, when you accept me, two things. You worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and follow me. Right? Right? فَاتَّقُوهُ وَأَطِيعُونَ فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَأَطِيعُونَ. Be mindful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and what I'm saying, listen to it. So in that sense, the duty of every Nabi was, and it means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teaching us that when the Rasul, most respected people, most chosen people, they say this thing, so the followers of Rasul, they should deal with this way. And this is with this be their activity. So ayah said, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةٌ. The brotherhood is a core of Muslims. The real brotherhood based on the blood relation, right? And blood relation means, suppose I love my brother or don't love, he is my blood relative, right? He helping me or not helping me, he is good or it's not the issue. I cannot change it. But the brotherhood of Islam based on ideology, based on fikr, based on common ground. What is the common ground between us? Iman with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, following the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the blood relatives cannot be chosen, right? Cannot be chosen and cannot be denied. But the ideological brotherhood based on only two things. First thing, we are working with same ideology, right? This is the important thing. And second thing is that this brotherhood cannot be maintained if any time we change the ideology, we went to other way. So sometimes brotherhood of Islam easy, other time is very difficult. And the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he moved to Medina, what he did first, three things when he moved to Medina. First thing, he did brotherhood between Ansar and Muhajir, right? Muwakhat, right? At that time, the muwakhat was so strong, even each one sharing the inheritance. Later it was changed, but brotherhood started in this way. And second thing, he did masjid. He established masjid of Rasulullah, and then he did a treaty between the different people of those who are living in that time in Medina. So the nasiha is a core of Islamic value. So first hadith is Imam Nawawi is reporting, it is reported by Muslim. عن أبي رقية تميم ابن أوسي الداري رضي الله عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال الدين والنصيحة قلنا لمن؟ قال لله ولكتابه ولرسوله ولأئمة المسلمين وعامتهم. Abu Tamim Dari, Tamim al-Dari, Abu Ruqayya, he reported that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam once said, the deen is nasiha. So we say it for whom? He said for Allah, for His book, for His Rasul, and for the leaders of Muslim, and common Muslimin, common people of Islam. So he said, ad-deen al-nasiha. Deen is really nasiha. The core of deen is nasiha. The spirit of deen is nasiha. Sometimes it is a style in Arabic and also in Quran that when you want to highlight something, very special portion of something, you make it a way that it is the thing. Suppose someone say, the whole human body is good, but the real human body is eyes. Suppose if you no eyes, you cannot see, right? So eye is a part of body, not whole thing, right? Or you can say that if the heart is the everything. So this way, ad-deen and nasiha mean deen is component of many things, but the real component is, or the real spirit of deen is nasiha. And you just imagine, suppose I'm going to buy something. So I saw some very good thing. I said, I want to take it. And someone asked me, can I take it? No, I don't think it is good. So I'm advising him not to take because I want to take it, right? The way. But if I say, no, it is good thing, you take it. Or if you want to take it, you can take it. So in that sense, the nasiha means which is really true, which is really pure nectar, and it is based on deen. Many times we advise something not based on deen. Maybe I suppose we belong to some kind of tradition. I say, no, our tradition is important, regardless what is good or bad. So the core of deen should be nasiha. It means, for example, our nasiha should be based on deen, right? And our deen should reflect or should be seen by good advice. And sometimes a human being is, for example, if trusting someone, right? So what I should do? I lose his trust or give him something which really he does like it and it is benefit. Maybe he don't like it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, Asa an takrahu shay'an wa huwa khayrun lakum. Something you dislike it, but maybe good for you, right? So how I choose Allah's advice? When I trust Him, right? If I don't trust Him, of course, I will not do it. And this is the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala differentiate between believers and non-believers, this trust. The munafiqun, they are looking hukum of Allah if it benefit them, right? If they like it. And mu'minun, they say, sami'na wa ata'na. What you are saying, we are accepting it. Quran says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in one place, Surah An-Nur, أَيَخَافُونَ أَنْ يَحِيفَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِمْ وَرَسُولُهُ. Are they avoiding to follow Allah's hukum because they think that Allah will take something from them or He will do injustice with them? So it is not that. So nasiha means, for example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that when you are dealing with deen and you are conveying this deen, other receiving person must trust you that you are giving him what benefit him or her. So deen is nasiha. Just like, in Hajj, Rasulullah says, Al-Hajju Arafah, right? Hajj is many things, but the most important part is Arafah. So in that sense, it is highlighting the importance of this portion of that thing. So Sahaba, they were very wise people. And when he said the deen of nasiha, they can stop. But they were so wise, they asked, to whom we do nasiha? Right? So it shows that they have two things. First thing, they accepted the surah's verse. Deen of nasiha, they accepted. But then they want to know the length or the depth of the nasiha, whom we should do. So he explained, and it is really a very, very, I can say, most important ahadith, one of them. Lillah. First thing you do nasiha to Allah. So how do I nasiha with Allah? He need my nasiha? He need my advice? No. I do nasiha to accept him as he explained to himself. Right? If he says, I am Razzaq, I am giving you the provision. Right? And I said, no. If I don't cheat, I cannot earn money. If I don't lie, I cannot sell my thing. So I'm not doing nasiha with Allah. So believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as His attributes, right? And believing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, وَمَا قَدَرُ اللَّهَ حَقَّ قَدْرِهِ. People never recognize Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with His real position, right? So it means, for example, nasiha with Allah, that to believe as He is, right? And it should be my belief, not such saying in front of people, but in my heart, inside, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not deal with only my amal, He deal with my niyah, right? إِنَّمَا الْعَمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. So lillahi means, for example, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, I am not talking to everyone. I am choosing someone, and then I'm sending message to him. Now he said, my Nabi must be respected as I am respected. Right? So we said, no. Allah, we just like Shaitan. What he did? He refused Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He never refused. He never refused to do sajda to Allah. But what happened? He said, do sajda, I will not do. He is inferior, right? It means what? You are rejecting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, man aada li waliyan azantuhu bil harb. If someone did war against my beloved person, I declare war against him. Right? This is the way. Man kana aduwwan lillahi wa malaikatihi wa rusulihi wa jibrila wa mikala fa inna Allah aduwwan lil kafirin. Anyone denying one of the Anbiya, denying one of the thing Allah asked, Allah said, it is denying to me. So it means, for example, when we say lillahi wa lillah means I do everything with as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks us to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And not add anything. I make my own definition of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The second thing, wali kitabi. How we do nasiha to kitab. We kiss it, suppose with very respected book, and we put in the highest place, and we kiss it, right? And we open sometime, or what? So kitab means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give this book. As hadith says, there are two kind of people receiving a letter. One letter written to king, from king to person, and he don't know what is written, so he kissed it, because it is from king. Other person, he received the letter and he opened and he read some kind of guidelines, he followed it. So he said, this is the example of Quran respect. So it means, for example, we do kitab as is due position. Now more than that, suppose we think the Quran is only for Taraweeh prayer or Salat prayer, or sometime Quran Khatmul Quran and so on. And sometimes we think that the Quran is only this kind of ahkam. So Quran is a hudan linnas. It is a guidebook for everything for humanity, for every human being. So it means I supposed to read it. It is a rewardful. I supposed to understand it. I supposed to apply it, and I supposed to make it prime source of everything before other thing. Maybe other thing will come, joining it, supporting it, but not, contradicting or parallel, making parallel to it. So this kitab of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so special that He is talking to us. The Quran is coming in a verse and meaning both from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Never this thing existed now except the Quran. Other books are containing some words of Allah, but other word added. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect our Quran, making itself protected, not mix anything. The Rasul's wording, separate. Ulama's wording, separate, right? So the kitab is a thing. And the Quran, the issue is that, and I always say that when person memorize Quran, we call him Hafiz, right? He protecting Quran. Really, Quran protecting him. And he is not Hafiz only, he is a Mahfuz. Because when person connected to Quran, Quran itself is protected, so he will be protected also. So in that sense, lillahi wa li rasulihi. And then we supposed to be honest to Rasul. Two way. First thing, we accept him as a Rasul from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, giving him the most important, as Rasul said, La yu'minu ahadukum hatta akunu ahabbu ilayhi min walidi waladi wa nas ajma'in. Nobody will be a true believer till he loves me more than everything. Himself and his family, his parents and so on. So it means, for example, this is the utmost kind of relation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the Anbiya. Second thing is that when we are respecting Rasul, so we're not respecting him, we're making him our guiding force. Hadi, the person of Hidayah. So we make his model our model, his lifestyle our lifestyle, and his way to do it. Most of the time, this issue happen two way. One, suppose a person totally deny Rasul, as the kuffar do it. But another way is making ghulu in some other personalities, right? Suppose we make Rasulullah equal to Allah. It will not, right? We have to understand that Allah's position is one and Rasul's position is different. So it is not, in a one time a person came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he said, Masha Allah wa shaita. What Allah want and what you want. He said, don't make me equal to Allah. Say Masha Allah. Only the wish of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yani just to make not any confusion, right? Second ghulu comes, suppose some personalities, I have, in most of the time, we have a kind of, I can say, good feeling or bad feeling, we worship heroes. When we appoint someone hero, so we make him highest of the highest, right? Hero worshipping. So sometime I love my leader or my ruler or whatever, so I see him just like equal to Rasul. This is also ghulu. Suppose some people, some group, they make their imams equal to Rasul. Imam is ma'soom, as Rasul is ma'soom. Imam is a source of wahi, just is like Rasul wahi. So it is also ghulu. So in that sense, and some people say, oh, Rasul is a human being as we are. So what is different? He is saying, we are saying. It is also denial of Rasul. So Rasul is both things. He is a human being, yes, but he is also, what he said, I am a human being, but yuha ilayya. I am receiving the wahi from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So respecting Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to making him in his true position, right? As, for example, chosen person from Allah and as a role model for us, and as that he is supposed to be our relation with him, not as a legal way. Suppose we follow some law, but we don't believe in it, right? But our love with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is beyond the law. It is something which is create affection. And this is the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make for us the role model in our Sahaba. Sahaba, those who lived with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they proved that how they were respecting Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, following this thing, and so on. And other people, those who are supposed coming after them, they're supposed to follow this trend. وَلِرَسُولِهِ وَلِأَئِمَّةِ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. The system of Islam, in one way, individual. My deen, right? My salat, right? I do fasting, I do for myself. I have to do my thing because nobody can give me najat or victory in the day of judgment except my own amal. It is individual based. But same time, Islam is a deen of jama'ah, living together, living a kind of, for example, under some kind of fabric of administration or some kind of political system or some kind of, you can say, ta'awun, cooperation among each other. So in this way, if our Islam says that there are two levels of applying Islam or working with Islam. One is ruled and rulers. A person become ruler, and a person he is under his rule. So he is a ruler. He is supposed to be ruler for the sake of Allah, not for sake himself. He should not be, because in Islam the ruler is a deputing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's ahkam. He is not creating himself. He is not law. He is not himself, but he is just receiving. Even Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying that what I am saying, I am receiving. I am not adding anything, right? So rulers should be in the position of only, for example, administering and applying the Islami ahkam, not his own ahkam. The ruled person, just suppose, for example, they have a right to choose the right person. They have to, for example, put condition, not following any bad thing. But when the system is established, they must be, for example, connected. They must do their advisory, they must do their criticism, everything, but they should not do some kind of conspiracy against ruler. They should not, for example, make some kind of, backbiting or some kind of spreading rumors against things. So in this sense, our Islam also asks us to, now in these days what happened, we have a little bit misunderstanding. Some group, they said, we and our rulers are same. Just like they also always report a student that one time Umar radiallahu anhu, he came with a clothing, and he was tall man. So the distribution of ghanima was not, he cannot make his long turban. So a person said, how you got from where? We have to check it first. Said, yes, I can answer you that me and my son actually got. So he gave me this thing. So then I make my thing. So we think, no, we are equal, right? We can, just like he is and same. This is misunderstanding. Sometimes we do this wording in democracy, right? In democracy, yes, maybe equality is there, but still there is some, level of, for example, applying the hukum for the ruler should be different way. But in Islam, when a person become ruler, it must be, for example, be our way, for example, to listen and obey. It's Asi'u Allah wa Ati'u Rasul wa ulil amri minkum. Follow Allah and follow Rasul and follow your rulers. Other way is coming that the ruler is a sacred, just like he become, he cannot be criticized. He cannot be, whatever he's doing, wrong or right, we should respect him. No, we should correct him. We should not do anything, for example, doing some kind of, trading or some kind of conspiracy, but still our relation with him supposed to be. One time Umar radiallahu anhu asked, if I do wrong, what you will do with me? He said, we will correct you. He said, Alhamdulillah, I praise Allah that among our groups, those who can do this thing. So it means our relation, of course, it is a very important, very thing, but there are rules for it, right? So one of the rules is supposed to be, if someone asks me, a ruler asks me a good advice, what advice I should do? What should I give? The right advice, right? Yesterday I did my khutbah, so I was quoting Ibn Khaldun. Ibn Khaldun says, when the system corrupted and people suffered and injustice become, common, then the civilization disappear. Then the whole system, who said, az-zulmu muzinun li kharab. The zulm is an indication of destruction. So he gave a very good story. He said one ruler from Persia, he was very unjust, tyrant ruler. And his advisor, Wazir, he was not able to correct him or not able to get advice. But one time he got opportunity. They were traveling, just like outside city. They were alone. And they saw on a tree 2 owls, owls. And mostly it is a kind of understanding among us that mostly owl loves deserted area, right? They don't live in population area. So he saw 2 owls. So he said to minister, what they're talking about it? So Wazir got a chance. He said, you know what? The discussion among them happening, one has a baby boy, one baby girl. And the baby boy person offering, father of baby girl, please accept my son as your son-in-law. So they said, what the other saying? He said, no, I will not accept till you give in mahar 1,000 deserted cities or villages. So then the first one, he said, no problem. This king is available. Whatever he is doing, it is actually causing to desert the cities. So if he survive many years, I can give you 1,000 cities. And then king realized. And king realized it. And he got the message, right? He got the message. So they said they become very, very good ruler. And then minister said to him, the system cannot work without people. Yani king cannot work himself, right? He need people. And the people cannot survive without a provisions, without a money, without some kind of salaries, right? And money cannot come with injustice. Cannot come. And you can see in our Muslim countries, right? Everything is there. Resources are full, more than other countries, right? But how this people are mismanaging it, how they are destroying it, and how the distribution happening not equally, right? So in that sense, the La'immatul Muslimin means their responsibility as an imam or as a leader to run the affairs to benefit everyone, right? And to select right people, right? Right people, not to make, brotherism or some kind of, favoring this one or that one. No, they must bring the best of the best, right? So in this way, when they are doing, so our responsibility as a rule person to be nice to them and to listen to and obey to them. Then he said another thing, a last thing, وَلِعَامَّةِ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. And our advice, our nasiha should be for every Muslim, regardless he is the lower of the lower of the lower. Muslim is a Muslim, right? You cannot say this is 25% Muslim, this is 50% Muslim, right? Or I don't like this person. No, if the person is a Muslim, regardless I disagree with him, I have some problem with him, but I will not say, no, this person become kafir, this person become munafiq, right? So in that sense, many times it happened that when people say to me, I'm not going to pray behind this imam. Why? Oh, I don't like him. Oh, okay. You don't like him, but you must like his salat, right? And Rasulullah advice, he says, Sallu khalfa kulla barrin wa fajir. Pray behind every good and bad person. His salat for him and your salat for you. So the maintaining the unity and maintaining the system. So in these days, this kind of thing happening that, oh, these people are garbage, Muslim or this and that, they are nothing. And many times we use some word which maybe we don't mean it, but it is actually not good word. We say, Islam is this only in West. Right? They are true Muslims. No, they are not true Muslim. Maybe they are true to their system. We are not true to our Islam. This is the only thing. But as a Muslim, Muslim is Muslim, right? Even the zarra of iman will benefit. Not, for example, we say, okay, everyone will go in Jannah. No, go only with iman. So I'm saying, وَلِعَامَّةِ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. So it is also one of the best thing. So Sahaba, they said, they were so mindful about this issue that Anas radiallahu anhu said, لَا يُؤْمِنُ أَحَدُكُمْ حَتَّى يُحِبُّ لِأَخِيهِ مَا يُحِبُّ لِنَفْسِهِ. You will not be true Muslim till you live for your brother what you live for yourself. And this is one of the issue happened that like Imam Abu Hanifa, one time a person came to him to sell some piece of cloth, and he was a businessman of any high quality clothing, especially this silk. So he asked him how much you will, how much money you want. He said such thing. He said no. This clothing worth value more. So he gave him more money to buy it. And same thing happened with one Sahabi. He was buying some horse. He said, oh, it is for this money. He said, no, it is worth more. So sometimes it is difficult, difficult point. Maybe, for example, some people not reach to it, but at least we should not cheat. At least we should not breach. In these days, the most important thing we can do to each other, suppose if someone is need a money, right, we can lend to save him from interest loan, right? It is a good thing. But the problem is what? When the money is taken, no return, right? Most experience of people is that, forget it. Now it will not come back. So it is not the nasiha, right? Because when it is their money, they should be returned. So in that sense, for example, our establishment of Islam is both way. We call it huququllah and huququl ibad, right? So one of the right of Allah and the right of people. When we do this thing, this Islam will not be only just some few rituals, but it will be our way of life, our way, for example, to live it. And then people can understand, yes, this is the Islam, and we love it. We want to follow it as you are following it. So this is some of the, one very great hadith, I think. We must be mindful about it. And Jazakumullahu khairan.